And I'm gonna say, listen, I'm saying like Troy because this thought that you have is the same one that a lot of people have.
And what is that?
The belief that everyone respects marriage.
Oh,
that
yeah.
everyone respects someone else's marital relationship.
I know they don't.
I know, but your wholesome thought is that people do. So then you be shocked, and they was married. You be saying, and they were married. But they were married. But it's like, and I'm sitting here on the other side of the table, I'm like, and nigga, like people do not care about that.
There are people who seek out that.
Exactly.
Like legit.
Because it's safer to them.
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lace. The podcast where men can have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to ManlyDeeds, the podcast where men can have a safe space. Welcome to ManlyDeeds. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lace.
Because it is a story. It is a story. Anybody want to open this up?
Take it to the barbershop.
We're going to open up in a word of prayer. This is the ManlyDeeds podcast. Welcome to the ManlyDeeds podcast. We back for another one. It's your boy, Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. NBA Old Boy, a.k.a. I'm him. I'm back with the crew, and we going to kick this thing off right. T-Dot, talk to the people, man.
It's your boy, T-Dot Roy, a.k.a. Huey, Dewey, Louie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still selling hope. I got a 2-for-1. You holla at me.
2 for the Lowski.
Hey, you know what's going on? It's your boy Melly Mel, a.k.a. Melly Badass, a.k.a. Meek Mill, a.k.a. your favorite truth teller, a.k.a. if you don't want to know, don't ask me. You know what's going on.
Man, we already know.
Come on, bro.
We already know. So we back for another one, fellas.
We back. We getting
T-Dot, tell us what we talking about, man.
Well, first of all, let's talk about this Bojangles trip we just took.
Yeah,
because that was hilarious. We pull up to this Bojangles.
Trash. What Bubba Dub say, Lace?
Trash.
We pull up to this Bojangles. Hey, let me get a 2-piece with fries. We ain't got no 2 pieces. We ran out of legs. Y'all ran out of legs. All right, well, can I get a breast?
The cheapest chicken piece.
Chicken piece.
Mind you.
All right, well, let me, and on a scale, we might as well, isn't leg like the 3rd weakest chicken piece or the least?
I've never done any research on the strength of chicken pieces.
So not strength, but the favorite. So my favorite, all right, it goes like this. It goes thigh, wing, breast, leg.
Tripping. Breast is at the top.
Yeah, the breast
is absolutely at the top.
The driest piece of chicken is at the top.
Oh, driest. I thought you were talking about in terms of favorite piece of chicken.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said the breast is the driest.
Breast is at the top.
Yeah. So breast, wing, thigh, leg for me.
Breast, thigh, wing, legs.
Thigh, wing, breast, leg.
Why?
Because, all right, the thigh is dark meat. I like me some dark meat. Okay.
Pausable. Hella pausable. This man with his whole heart.
I like dark meat. Look, he was waiting. He's like, I know he about to say it. Oh.
Pausable.
I knew he was about to set me up. I should have known. Because he was quiet. Lace ain't never quiet. He always waiting to double dutch.
Nah, because you doubled down on it. He was like, I
love me some dark meat.
So dark meat, and then the wing always hitting. You know what I'm saying? The wing is always hitting. I don't know why it is, but it just does. The breast is just dry.
That's not true. I don't know where you get that from.
It's the biggest piece, right? And it is also the piece that you can choke and die on.
Breast, thigh.
That's how dry the
wing,
breast
legs.
is.
I like my meat light skin. That's why I like the breast.
Pause.
Pausable.
Also pause. But anyway, besides the point. So we pull up to Bojangles. Let us get a leg and a thigh. We out of legs. I can give you something else though. All right, bet. Well, let me. What you want for your drink? Well, let me get a half and half. Let me get your sweet tea and your lemonade,
or an Arnold Palmer, depending on where you from.
Or where you from. We ain't got no lemonade. All right, well, dang. Let me go ahead and get the lemonade. What kind of sauce you want for your chicken? Let me get your honey mustard. We ain't got no honey mustard. It's like, what do
Who
you
y'all have up in that joint?
Just tell me what you have and I'll just get that.
I was honestly scared to order. I'm just like, y'all
till
got
we get
wings?
at this point?
Y'all got wings?
And she was like, "Yep, we do
Y'all got
wings."
fries?
And then on top of that, trying to flirt with me through the daggone intercom. I'm like, hey, first of all, get my food, okay? That's the reason why I came
See,
here.
Troy don't got good self-management,
He
okay?
don't.
Because he didn't recognize the fullest extent that we could have taken the flirtation.
I did notice
Because,
that.
you know what I'm saying? We could have maximized that situation. Granted, you knew it was going nowhere.
Right.
But, you know, once we pulled up and saw what we was working with in the window, we could have got away with some extra chicken pieces.
I
We
mean,
could got
should
some
have
extra
had
chicken
It was a
pieces
free
for-
meal. They
At
gave us
least
a
a
free
liter
meal.
We coulda got
sweet tea in
for
the back
free.
of the trunk.
She was, and they did have sweet tea. They didn't have lemonade. She said
No,
they
I
didn't have
asked for
lemonade. They had
lemon.
sweet
I
tea.
asked
I
for
know,
lemon.
but no. Before that,
Yeah,
though,
that
she
was
said
another
we
thing.
ain't got no lemonade.
And she
and
said,
I was
"Nah,
like,
baby, you know we ain't got no lemon."
yeah. She was like, we got sweet tea, and she was like, but the sweet tea hitting though. And I was like, well, that's the only thing y'all got up in that
the only
motherfucker. So
thing
I
they
bet
got.
it is good.
Yeah.
I bet it is good. That's the only thing y'all got in that mug.
Bojangles, get your stuff together.
Do
okay?
better.
And
Do better.
once you get your stuff together, we'll do a brand deal for y'all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Come on,
saying?
bro.
So holla at
Absolutely.
us. That's what we're here for. But anyway, they had nothing. And so coming back into this episode, we want to talk about our brother Derrick Jaxn. All right, but mainly his wife. And I forgot his wife's name, so y'all have to forgive me.
Is that his ex-wife?
No, they're still married.
His
Oh.
ex-wife,
All right, okay.
Troy, one of them.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm one of them what's.
You one of them Bible-toting Christians who think that the marriage still exists as long as the paperwork is intact.
Gotcha, okay.
The
So
woman
even
said-
though they in separate states, houses,
Right.
or whatever,
And doing whatever
The
they want to
woman-
do.
his ex-wife.
Listen, the woman said the ink is still ain't dried yet. All right, so I'm just going off what she said. That's what the woman told me.
All right.
All right. So anyway, well, she ain't tell me directly.
By Bible standards, yes, they're still
Okay,
married.
got you.
By the world
By
standards,
the world
that's his
standards,
ex-wife.
he out here living.
Right.
Well, technically, by world standards, if they ain't signed the paperwork, they still married.
We talking about the
And
world's
they
ideology, Troy. The world's ideology.
Yes. Not,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm just saying legally.
I got
if you
you.
want to
That's
go
what I'm saying.
technically, that's what the case
Okay.
is.
Okay.
But anyway, so she, I forgot her name. She goes on this podcast and she starts spilling her whole story. And you feel bad for her because if you go back in time during COVID, what happened was Derrick Jaxn got called out. Now let's rewind for those who don't know. Derrick Jaxn is a social media influencer who
Relationship coach.
relationship coach who based all of his social media on geared towards women and how they should find a good quality man.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And these are things that you need to see in a man. You know, if he's doing this, you probably should turn him down and all that type of stuff and giving value to women and stuff like that, which we should. Shout out to women. Toxic over here. Because we got a lot of female listeners, so I just want to acknowledge them. You know what I'm saying?
You want to try acknowledging the men that listen to this podcast?
I know, but
okay?
I'm just because we are
always,
the men.
You
We
always
are the
go
men. They
out of
always
your
really-
way to acknowledge the women, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you go
Nothing
out of
wrong
your
with
way to acknowledge them.
when 60% of your listeners are women.
It's not 60%, and I can give you the data.
Male always got some data.
He throws out data a lot.
He always
throws
got
out
some
data.
Because
data.
all that matters at the end of the day is facts.
It's big fact.
People's
Big
feelings
facts,
are
yeah.
irrelevant.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so that was Derrick Jaxn's whole platform. Spitting. He wrote a couple books. He went
Okay.
on tours and stuff like that. And while he's on this tour, talking to these women about what they should look for in a man, his wife is working in the background. She actually was his admin or like his executive or something like that. So that's the story. And while he's on this tour, he's also flirting and getting it in with these women at the same time, based upon what she told the story.
Low selfies.
Low-
Call them low selfies.
Low selfies. So, but here's the crazy thing. So the backstory of how they got together, it's like, boo-boo, you saw all the red flags.
It was there.
And you did not follow
So he's
them.
the victim. Is that what we getting to?
I don't think he's a victim. I think he is indeed a predator.
He is. Oh,
I don't know this nigga, so
Wow.
I'm just catching up.
I think he's a predator.
Okay, so here's a story. They met in college, and prior to college, and I'm not telling you any information that's gossip. She said this out her mouth. You can go watch the podcast yourself, right? So she's on this. And prior to going to college or in college or maybe her freshman year, she was sexually assaulted.
Oh,
So
okay.
you already got that, setback, right?
That's unfortunate.
And it's very unfortunate. And within a month's time, he starts pursuing her. So you can imagine you go through a sexual assault, and then someone starts giving you
But
attention.
he knew that she went through a sexual.
And that's the thing, he did not know.
Oh, okay.
And so
the range of emotions.
Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
and so she actually never came out and spoke about this until after they were married, which is very problematic. And I completely understand, being sexually assaulted is really problematic. But if you're gonna say you're gonna be with someone forever, they have to know like what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
To an extent, but I could see in some cases why she may not have shared that, because she could have been processing internally what had happened to her. You know what I'm saying? So I could understand from a survivor standpoint why she may not have put that out there in that magnitude for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah. The reason why I say that is because I want to make sure that I am
Wholesome. I got you.
taking care of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to know so that you know how to govern yourself and be in healing and process with her and understand.
Exactly.
I know
Right,
where you're going with it.
but even in that, because I think a lot of times as men, that's what we would want to do. But with talking about a subject such as sexual assault, you can't be that. You can't be a savior in that regard. It's just no
Big facts.
no way. So I think I understand why she would not have put that out there like that. You know what I mean?
Well, anyway, he pursued her. She was she said it out her mouth. She was like the quiet person, kept to herself, and he pursued. She was the tutor. He was the 2D, and so eventually, over
And
course
he got
of
the tootin'. He got the tootin'.
So over a course of time, they had went through a back and forth of break up, back together, break up, back together, break up, back together. And I think one time they took a serious break because the reason why they were breaking up is because he was with other women. And this is during the dating stage. So you see how he's acting during this time, but you continue to pursue him. All right. And then at one point when they broke up, she wanted to make him jealous because he was being out with women. She wanted to make him jealous by being with a man, but she was like, she's not good at that. Like, she was like, hey, come meet me at the coffee shop. I think he's going to be here today. And let's just laugh and talk and stuff like that.
Trash. Terrible.
And it's like, yo, if I don't know, maybe, and this is for everybody. if the person has moved on, we in ourselves have to start the process of moving on. You know what I'm saying? As far as like relationship.
No, if somebody tell you they don't want to be with you, you need to start that process then, not seeing them with somebody else. Then all of a sudden, I'm going to try to move the on. My
They
nigga.
gonna see me sipping this macchiato and they gonna be
Right. Like, I mean, you know, when I start throwing back them caramel chai tea lattes, that's
you know what's
get
going on.
But here's the thing. They had broke up.
Extra dirty. I want all the shots. Extra dirty. If you don't get your cornball,
Hey, bro. Come on now.
So he had moved on, but she in her heart had not.
But did he really move on if they was always making up and breaking up type of thing? You know
And,
what I'm saying?
that's a good point. But I think this was like a time they were on a break.
low selfie. He don't need to move on if he know he can just come back.
True.
That is a good point.
Low selfie. They have a designated title for a reason.
So the story continues. She follows him to another state. I forgot which state it was. I think it was Georgia. And she said this out her mouth. She said the one girl would come on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and she was there Tuesday, Thursdays, and whatever. And they would literally the girls would be passing each other in the hallway coming from his spot.
Mm-hmm.
And she would look at the girl like, I know you had him, but it's my time now. Like, that's the type of stuff that she was on.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows this nigga got women on rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still pursuing him. Well, what happened? Y'all might guess. She got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she became
Because
the
he's a
man.
raw meat king too. That nigga a raw meat king too.
And so it went from she got pregnant to now they are together. How we gonna make this work?
Mm-hmm.
And so then I think somewhere within the time they got married and so on and so forth. And she was like, if we gonna get married, the thing is you gotta let go of these women. He was like, well, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So you try. And he had this same stance for a long time throughout their whole marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are my main girl, but I don't want to hurt these other women's feelings by sending them a text and letting them go. And so, and the way she told it, she actually heard the story. She actually knew that he was with these women for a long period of time. And then it was at one point she was like, I'm fed up with this. She left. She is originally from Denver. She took the kids.
Says it all. Says it all.
She took the kids, went to Denver. He sought her out. He was like, look, I can't do this without you. So then they got back together. She started managing all of his stuff and stuff like that and the whole process. And so and at one point they had a mansion. This is the thing. They had a mansion together. And he also had an apartment. And he said, I know we got a mansion, but I need an apartment where I can go do my recordings and handle my business. She was like, nigga, we got a mansion though. Like, you got a whole nother room.
Is this before he's successful or as he?
In the mansion came with the success.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, it came with the success. But she was cool with it and she let it happen. And was at some points he would never even come home. And then the whole big media thing came out, and then she became Sister Bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. Then that's what I remember. I didn't know the backstory.
No one knew.
I
ain't gonna say no one. Most people didn't know her before that.
Big facts. And no one knew who she was. And then what ended up happening? She came Sister Bonnet, and then after a while, he became exposed again, and she was like, I can't do this no more. I think right now they have 3 children together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and he is currently with another person, whatever the case may be. And he's had some long time, like some of the women he's been talking to have been together with him for the long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two sides of the story real quick. First of all, with her seeing how this cat did her this whole time, how could you miss the red flags?
It wasn't missing.
Yeah.
She thought she could get him to act the way she wanted him to act. That's the truth. She's seen it. She's seen it. She knew what he was doing. She thought that she could potentially change his mind, change his ways, maybe do a little bit of extra, maybe ask more what he want to see, what does he want her to do, etc. And it wasn't successful. So then when that ran out, she played the cards that she had. Take the kids and leave, this and that, whatever. But before that, she knew what was up. It wasn't a secret. Obviously, if they were passing each other, they had to have conversation about it. She probably confronted him about it. He said, this is my lifestyle. This is what I want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And because she thought that she could change his mind, or she was comfortable with him or used to him and didn't want to really mess with nobody else, she kept moving in the direction that she wanted to move in, which is unfortunately true.
I think that holds some truth, but I do think also he seems very narcissistic.
Extremely.
And his approach to relationships and the control factors. But I do think, to Mel's point, the signs may have been there. She chose to go a different route. Part of that could be to try to change who he is, or she could have also lost herself in him. Whereas, as I mentioned, the phrase low selfie, where she could not navigate aspects of life without seeing him in it in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? So I think that also has some truth to add to the overall concept. But it seems like, those things were present. They were there. They chose to forge forward in whatever way they saw fit, and he's gonna be who he is, it seems, though. It's like, so
how can you he had source material for all of his stuff that he was doing, because he was the dude telling women to avoid him. Right. He was his own.
That's why I said not narcissistic. But the thing is, though, a lot of what a lot of people miss. We live in an age where people are always trying to change other people to be who they think they should be or want them to be. You cannot do that. I mean, we see time and time again where people like this find themselves in situations like this, and then you be like, damn, well, how did that happen? Well, you was trying to change the nigga for 30 years. Like, what do you expect? He showed you who he is.
Right.
She showed you who she is. What are you doing? Like, it's who they are. You either go get along or get gone.
It's like showing somebody your spades hand, your hand is spades, or them showing you their hands is spades, and you still like, well,
how many books you got?
Exactly. Like, I just showed you my whole hand.
How many books you got? Like, it don't. But and again, we see it all the time with people. But I wish sometimes people do change. I do believe people can change.
Yes, people can change,
but you have to allow them to change in their own
way,
time, and in their own dosage. A lot of times we want people to change like this because this is what we want. This is what we believe. This is what they should be doing. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And not knocking what he did, because I'm not knocking what the nigga did, because it seems like he f***ed her up in a lot of various ways. But yeah, it's just like, yo.
The side chick energy is what got me, though. It's like she knew she wasn't the main.
Right.
Well, was she the main?
What does that?
Or
they broke
I believe
up.
she was the main.
She was the main. He was just doing
what he wanted to do.
But then
what?
They weren't together though. Like, she was the main at one point.
Right.
Yes,
that's why. Okay.
I would say that she was the main at one point, but then they broke up, and the reason why she continued to move is because they actually broke up after she committed to moving. Because I think what happened is they moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. And then he was like, we need to move to Atlanta to make this happen. And she was like, all right, bet. And then she got the transfer of the job. They found a place together. And then right as they, like the day of or the week of they were about to move, he was like, yo, this ain't gonna work out. She already got the transfer. They already got a spot
and
together.
that one sign right there.
So what are we talking about?
I'm just confused.
What are we talking about? What are we talking
perplexed.
about? We just talked about how people never accept accountability for the role that they play in their own demise. She is consciously making decisions about being involved with this person, despite what he's saying, despite what he's doing. What are we talking about? Is she a victim or no?
That is a good question.
Is she a victim or no?
Because I could hear somebody right now saying, "Oh, you don't know her past. You don't know,
and I don't
all that type of stuff." And very true, very true. But she chose to continue to pursue homeboy, or to allow him to do that to her.
Well, I will say that some people, when they find themselves in dysfunctional relationships or even abusive relationships, they don't know how to navigate or to remove themselves from that. So she could have found herself in this situation that we can clearly say is abusive, that is not benefiting her, her well-being physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. But some people can't see themselves out of that.
Yeah.
So it becomes somewhat of the norm. This is what we do. This is how I should be treated, like that kind of thing. Yeah. So that could be one of the contributing factors, as well as to what her decision making was like.
My heart breaks for people like that.
Yes, it's tough. It's tough
because you can't function outside of dysfunction.
Right.
And you
come on now.
And when it starts to, and when the dysfunction happens, that's when your love ramps up even more.
Right, because that's what you feed into.
Because that's what you feed
into. So that's what I'm saying. It could be a lens of that. So I'm yes, we can say that she is a victim or not. But at the end of the day, if you've been in something that dysfunctional for that long, you may not even know what the light at the end of the tunnel looks like, because you don't know yourself. You've lost yourself in that
part.
Lost yourself or didn't have yourself to begin with.
Could be
that
both.
Part too.
Could be both.
I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both.
And it could go back to that traumatic experience as to when.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things play a role.
So, Derrick Jaxn, how much of a responsibility falls on him?
A lot, most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's a predator. I still think that. I think that he was using his platform and his leverage to take advantage of low self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Women and stuff like that to get them to do what he wanted to do. He knew that his woman was never going to leave. You know, so when you know that you have nothing to lose, like I said, mess with people who have nothing to lose. How are you gonna get somebody to act right who doesn't feel like losing you is gonna be a problem?
Right.
You can't. So if I know you're not going anywhere, if I know that I've done it in the past, I could do what I want to do, and you always gonna be there. What's the reason for me to do anything different? What's the reason for me to change? You know what I'm saying? Especially if the original intention may not have been for us to be in a long-term relationship, but because we have these kids now, and sometimes people make decisions like that because we have these kids now we in it for the long haul or whatever it may be. So if that wasn't my original intent, you're not gonna get me to act right now. You know what I'm saying? Is what. So I think that is largely both of them. I still think that he's a predator and took advantage of certain feelings and emotions and desires that she may have, just like he did with, you know what I'm saying, other women. And some men are like that. So I think both of them, I think that she still, to some degree, just like I said about Zion a couple episodes ago, yes, he did make some decisions and did play a role in it, but I still believe him to be a victim as well when someone's preying on him. So I think the same thing about her. I think that she is a victim to an extent, and he has to take responsibility for it, but she also played an active role in that as well. Sometimes the decisions that we make put us in situations that we don't want to be in. It's compromising, you know, and then we feel like it's somebody else's fault because they did something to me, but you also put yourself sometimes in a position to be in the spot that you in right now. So it's just, you know, you got to look at it from all angles, but it's you mainly largely, and we talked about it before, a lot of women have this idea that they can change the men that they with, either that's through how good their sex is or having a child or progressing a relationship with a title or marriage or something like that, thinking that these stages or things are going to change our actions and behaviors and who we are, and that's a form of delusion.
And vice versa.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's just like, you know, think about it. So, you know.
I do know some men who thought that they could change a woman. She was for the streets. Just like Derrick Jaxn, he's for the
can't
streets.
change people.
But the thing is, too, though, you got to look at the fact that he didn't become who he is by himself. What I'm saying is these women that fed into his relationship guru talk were some of the same ones, I'm sure, who he was getting with on the side.
Oh, yeah, most
that,
definitely.
and the third. So what about them? They're contributing to the overall ethos that he's able to operate in, based upon some bullshit that we know is a lie.
Now, let's talk about them. Are they predators or victims?
Who?
Because they know the new side chicks that's coming into the pictures. Because they already know what this nigga owns.
Predators for sure.
It goes back to, though, people like bullshit and dysfunction, bro. If I know I'm going to see a relationship guru who's written books, this, that, and the third, I know he f***ing off on his wife, but I'm going to go f*** the nigga. Pause. I relish in dysfunction and bullshit. There's just no other way
that is
to
true.
quantify that.
Which is something that's never talked about, and people
come on, man.
like Troy.
Stop.
And I'm gonna say, listen,
now.
I'm saying like Troy because this thought that you have is the same one that a lot of people have.
And what is that?
And that is the belief that there are people out here, not people, the belief that everyone respects marriage.
Oh,
that
yeah.
everyone respects someone else's marital relationship.
I know they don't.
I know, but your wholesome thought is that people do. So then you be shocked, and they was married. You be saying, and they were married. But they were married. But it's like, and I'm sitting here on the other side of the table, I'm like, and nigga, like people do not care about that.
There are people who seek out that.
Exactly.
Like legit.
Because it's safer to them.
Like,
some people,
and I got a story. Like I would love to drop this story. But like legit, I wouldn't say an associate, whatever. But I know of an individual.
Clean it up.
I know of an individual who literally that's what the homies that's just his MO.
Yes.
Like this is what I have. This is what I can contribute to you. This is what I need from you.
Yep.
You with it or not?
And
he has the means to make it happen.
And it be women that be like,
signing up.
Yes.
Signing up.
Because it's low maintenance.
Why do people not think about that? It's a.
What you mean? Why do not?
People do not believe in that. They think it's a myth. They don't be listening to when we say that. There are and we men and women alike.
Yeah.
People who want to mess with only married people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's safer for them. If I don't want emotional connection or attachment, if I want to keep my expectations low, if I don't want to be disappointed or hurt or anything like that, I'm going to go find someone who's predominantly committed to someone else. I see them when I want to see them. I only do the fun stuff with them. I never have to argue with them. My expectations are low. I ain't got to be hurt. I ain't got to depend on them for nothing. I have fun. I send them back to where they go. I go on my way and be free to do whatever I want to do. There are so many people like that.
That's fact.
Who only want that interaction, and they do not care about your marital relationship. They don't care. You put it on the Instagram, the Facebook, you wear your ring all day, or whatever the hell you got going on. They do not give a damn. I'm just saying it out loud because I know some people think everyone respects marriage, and they don't.
I mean, think about it. We know niggas females that was fucking off on the pastor for years, sitting in the same church with the first lady. But
sharing recipes.
Sharing in the
Laughing,
hospitality
giggling.
committee. Pastor's aid, nigga.
I'm just saying it.
Like, come on, man.
I know everyone wants to think about those type of things. It's just like, but they do, and they don't give a damn.
At all.
They don't. And that's why I be talking to well, I don't be talking to niggas. Let me not say it like that.
Clean it up.
Clean it up. Look, I'm talking about No. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Trust me. Not like that.
My boy. Clean it up.
Trust me, not like that. I didn't mean it like that. I don't be talking to niggas like that. I'm just saying when the subject comes up, I'll be telling niggas like, look, it's not like that. Like people really do that. And you think that because, you know what I'm saying, you promoting your relationship or whatever, you think that that's going to be a deterrent for other people. You think that that's going to make someone not want to be involved with you when it makes you more desirable to someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there are a lot of women who just have the mindset of, if I take him from her, he'll do all the stuff that he's doing for her for me.
He gonna do it
so
again.
if I can see you doing it with somebody else, all right, I know you ain't afraid of marriage. You obviously commit to somebody. You taking care of your kids. You're a little bit stable. You got a good head on your shoulders. All right, now I just need you to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? So
in the way I want you
to do it. So it's either some of them are going to come to the table and they're going to be like, I just want the fun stuff. You can go home when you get done, or some of them going to try to take your spot.
Yeah.
Right.
So you all, like I said, well, I don't remember what episode it was, but I was talking about I always stay on point. You never know who trying to, you know what I'm saying, come up on your drink. So I stay on point at all times. It is a competition. I don't care if you married or not. The competition is not over because you married now, nigga. You got it. You got to be able to keep it. Yeah. So, keep your head on the swivel.
What was that Tyler Perry movie where Shorty was, my man came in and took the jump Journey? The Smollett girl that was in the movie.
Yeah. I could do Bad by Myself.
No, it won't that.
No, with the dude from House of Pain. What's his name?
I can't
Lance Gross. No, it's Temptation.
Temptation.
Something with Temptation.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Hold on, I'm about to bring it up.
Something with Temptation in it.
But the thing is, though, had everything. Grinding, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make it, trying to get there. This predator ass nigga come out the way, ruined it all. Because why?
Nothing.
Trying to make somebody else who they couldn't be.
Come on, bro.
Temptation, Confessions of a Married.
That's right.
I knew it was Temptation something.
Yeah.
So you actually hit it right on the.
I couldn't get it on my tongue.
Okay. Yes, that is true, but people should respect marriage.
But they don't. Last I checked, we live in a fallen world.
Truthfully speaking, I think that it is married people's job to respect their marriage. Like it is not someone else's responsibility. I'm just saying.
No,
in general, we expecting other people to respect our relationships.
Sure,
but they don't. Why would they? You know what I'm saying? They don't have the investment or the time that we have in it, or the verbal commitment or whatever. So why should they respect our relationship or whatever? So it's like, if you want to defend it, and that don't necessarily mean, if you want to defend your relationship, defend it, but that don't necessarily mean fighting for it, because defense comes in all different types of forms. People think defending my relationship is like somebody eyeballing my significant other, whatever. I'm throwing hands over that joint or something like that. Or I'm going to go through your phone or go through your social media, whatever, to make sure you ain't talking to nobody, nothing like that. Defending your relationship could be like making sure your ass stay on point.
Yeah, and that's not taking care of what you got going. It's
not defense, but that's how people view it.
That's called insecurity.
I know, but people view it as defense. Like I feel
defending
that, and protect.
Right.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah,
I got you. I feel you, bro. It's not defense. It's 100% insecurity, but people view it as defending. I'm putting a wall around or something like that. But it's just like if you defend your relationship, be as proactive about putting into it as you are about trying to keep people out of it. That's the best way to quote unquote defend the relationship. You know, we look at one side of it, like, yeah, you could throw hands over, you could scream, holler, whatever. But if you was putting time and investing in that relationship, you wouldn't be worried about checking somebody's phone or going through somebody's stuff because you know that you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing to begin with. And you would have the confidence of, if they move away from this, they a damn fool.
Damn fool.
Because, you know what I'm saying, it's usually when you already feel like...
Because I'm indispensable.
Come on, I'm indisposable. I'm trying to tell you. Once y'all get the understanding of it, y'all better understand. Y'all understand.
Ain't nobody thinking about that shit.
Look, you get it. I'm saying. Come on, bro. I'm just saying.
They say the heart wants what the heart wants, but oftentimes the heart lies to us.
Deceitful.
Very deceitful.
Yeah.
And we pursue things that we shouldn't be pursuing. We allow things to go that we shouldn't allow to let go. And it ends up getting us a whole world of trouble. I didn't realize how important it is to protect your marriage until I heard someone, it was a pastor who once said, he said, look, man, y'all need to leave these married people alone because you can get killed. You can get killed messing around with somebody's spouse. And nowadays we see people killing over their boyfriend, girlfriends, and then they'll take their own self out. It was a unfortunate situation that happened back in my hometown. Homeboy wanted this girl all to himself. So he checked her out and then checked himself out at the same time. He said, no one will ever have you.
So what we talking about?
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the whole situation because
I think it was a good conversation.
From what angle though?
I want
what are we taking away from this, or what are we shedding light or proposing to?
The one
in
thing
relation to
the
this
one
story.
thing I wanted to point out is that it was like, yes, we are coming to her side. Yes, homegirl, he was a predator. Yes, homegirl, this, that, and the fourth and the other. But homegirl, there was a bunch of red flags. Like red flag on the play. Do not proceed. Oh, we're gonna keep on going anyway. And she kept pursuing it. And then on his part is like, he is, to me, he is probably one of the worst of worst predators in this whole situation. Because he had this woman dedicated her life to him, bro. Like work wise, turn the other way turn the other way all the time, still bore your kids, even after you told him that, you know, you do have an option. And she was like, no, I don't have an option. I'm having my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like on a few occasions, but he still put her in this position. And then on top of that, got the nerve to tell other women to turn down dudes who are like him. So here it is. He tricking up the bag for everybody else so he can have all the bags.
Yeah. Sounds very strategic to me. Got to get some of these pieces off the board, don't it?
Hey, sounds pretty Ponzi schemish to me.
Sounds strategic to me. I got to get these
But no,
niggas off the
I
board.
think that there is a level of accountability from all parties involved.
Yes.
Because she did make some personal decisions for herself to stick it through. For whatever reason, we don't know whether it was to try to change him or to whatever. And he took advantage of that. And it's unfortunate because, she seems to be the one that is suffering in great detail compared to what
Well, I think they both
he was
suffering,
doing.
to be honest with you.
Well, they probably are both suffering.
Now they are.
But at the end of the day, he still has been able to move seemingly in the way that he would like to.
The way he been moving.
That's what I'm saying. So suffering how? Because he lost her, or
I think that people sometimes we look at the visual aspects of what someone is presenting and we think that they're not dealing with or going through something because of what they're showcasing to us. So we don't know what
very
suffering
true.
he may be having behind
Very
the
true.
scenes or anything like that he's
Very
going
true.
through. And I'm only speaking about that from personal experience.
Mhm.
People handle grief and things in different
Oh,
ways
yeah,
and different,
yeah.
this and that, whatever. So I think that to a certain degree, they're both suffering. One may be suffering more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that she's taking the opportunity to at least feel like I'm gonna profit off of my suffering. If I'm gonna suffer, then I'm gonna at least feel like I'm
Gotta
taking
get
something.
some up out
gotta
of
get
it.
the bag.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let
Yeah,
his
yeah.
story be the only story being told.
And she actually has a story that can help other women,
women.
who may have experienced these kind of things. So it's still relationship based, relationship growth, whatever you want to call it. But she has a different niche in that regard.
And actually, now she has a ministry in which she is launching.
Not going to that ministry. I'm good off that.
Was that a real statement, or is that a joke or a real statement?
No, I'm being dead serious.
She's starting a ministry.
She has a ministry in which she is trying to help young ladies going through.
And all that's good.
Okay,
but
wait,
you call it
wait,
ministry.
Troy, wait, Troy.
I'm
Wait,
not
Troy.
lying. This
Are you
is-
talking about
Like
okay?
church
Hold on,
ministry?
church ministry, or are you saying
Like,
she's
is what-
ministering by helping
Right.
other people?
She got her license to minister.
To minister what?
When recently?
Administer what?
She got it recently.
Administer what?
No, bro. That has been her. That has been.
Has she always had it, or
No,
not
that,
always, but
that,
how long
that
has
has
she
been a
had it?
part of her journey. And her self healing. So
I'm good off that. Yeah, I don't.
When did she get it?
So sometime when she finally was like, "Yo, this a wrap," she was like, I'm start digging in my faith. You know what I'm saying? So she started digging in her faith, and she got to a point. It was like, you know what, like. I'm really serious about this. So then she started pursuing a licensing or certificate through her church or something like that. And now she has not a doctoral, but she has some type of ministry degree or something like that. And she wants to turn around and help the very people who went through something very similar to her.
good
So
for her.
I think it's but I do believe that there's still some time of healing that needs to be had before you start helping others. Because the scripture says very clearly, physician, heal thyself. Mm-hmm. So if you sitting there trying to heal and help other people, but you yourself still hurting, and this is still kind of fresh, bro. Like, that was the pandemic. That was 2 years ago.
And that's why I'm asking about this ministry that you're talking about. That's why we asking about this ministry that you're talking about.
So she said it's not supposed to be counseling. It's supposed to be a supplement to counseling. So you're going to counseling and this is added on to it too. And so she is trying to help young ladies navigate.
Is it like a workshop? Are there lessons, a workbook?
I did not
worksheet?
sign up for this ministry. So
Can you stop calling it that? Because that shit is a focus group. That's not. I'm not. Because you can't
A support group,
Yeah,
in a
you
sense.
can't.
that's what
Right.
actually that's what it is, a support.
Okay,
A support,
all right.
yes,
Now
okay.
that
Why
I
you
can
ain't-
get behind.
But she's saying it's her ministry.
Okay, so her personal
Lord have mercy,
ministry.
Jesus.
But you kicked that a totally different way. I'm like, why the hell am I going to a LPC and then coming to your goofy ass because you went through
close
some
the
shit. Right the
To close the loop. Make it make sense.
Right? Like, what?
Oh my God.
Make it make sense.
I'm paying my copay over here, but coming to you
to do
Stop
what
it.
exactly?
But here's another interesting twist. So she's fair skinned. She's lighter skin, I
Who?
should say. She is
Who?
her ex-wife, Derrick Jaxn.
No, she brown.
Yeah,
she
she brown.
she closer
Okay.
to chocolate.
Yeah.
All right. No, well,
She's brown.
she's brown.
Mhm.
Probably, yeah, she's brown. But what she said was one of her children came out chocolate.
So she's
Let
chocolate
me-
almost.
let me
Oh,
finish.
my fault.
Let me finish.
All right.
She's more Lace's complexion.
Who?
Derrick Jaxn's ex-wife.
No, she's
No.
not.
Yes, she is. Pull her up.
She is brown, and Derrick Jaxn
Yeah, I believe
damn
she's
near
brown.
chocolate like
She
Lance
may
Gross
be.
too.
She may be. He's chocolate.
And she's brown. She's
She-
not light skinned.
Okay. All right.
I'm a light skinned connoisseur.
The daughter that she had. Let me just put it this way: the daughter that one of the children that she had, her daughters that she had, is the same.
She is lighter than what I thought.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Troy been waiting on this moment his whole life.
Melvin just want to
She is
argue.
brown.
No, I'm saying she's
lighter
still
than
lighter.
you thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
thought
Yeah.
chocolate in the sense.
Yeah.
Chocolate is different from her complexion.
Right. We thought chocolate though, like chocolate. You know what I'm talking about?
You
Like Keisha Knight Pulliam type of chocolate.
like
Okay, yeah, but she's brown skin. She's brown like me.
she ain't no Kelly Rowland. She more like a Michelle,
Brown.
but she ain't Kelly Rowland though.
But she ain't Beyonce light skin either.
She's not, and I did not say. That's why I
Okay,
said
light skin, brown. Like the color. We getting lost in the minutia.
getting like, and ooh, look at you. We bringing back the.
I got big words in me. Don't worry about it. Pause.
But anyway, she the thing I was gonna say was the twist to the story is one of her children is the same complexion as he is, and she's looking at her child, and she's looking at the women that her husband has been pursuing, and her child looks just like the women that he has been pursuing, and she says she's been feeling like this disconnection in a sense that yes, this is my child, but I felt like I've been carrying someone else's type of child. You know
And
what
this
I'm
the
saying?
ministry you
That's
want
supposed
me
to
go
be. Come on,
Nigga,
ladies.
if you don't make this a Lifetime movie and get the out of here.
This would be a bomb Lifetime
Like,
movie
get outta
for real,
here,
for
man.
real.
That's crazy as hell.
Come on, bro.
But no, seriously. I mean, you think
I've heard of that before though.
you think about it like she's looking at it, and she feels a disconnect because it's like, dang, you're my daughter, but you look like you could be someone else's daughter, like the daughter of his side piece. And
That's mental though.
I know, but I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was in that position, that would mess with me. That would high key mess with me.
I can't speak on carrying a child, but all I know is if I carried a child for a set amount of months and it came out of me, like, how do you
It's
compute
mine.
that?
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna stay away. That seemed like women business. I'm gonna stay out of that.
It's somewhere I don't belong.
That seemed like
Women's
business.
But a lot of people have reported stuff like that before, though. But it's not always related to cheating. Like sometimes a woman and a man will be in a relationship, and the man go off and lead the kids with her, or and find somebody new. But one of the kids looks like the daddy, and then the mama resents the son that looks like the dad.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
of
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I can imagine that type of thing. We hear about that commonly, actually. So it's just interesting to see it from that point of view because there's no way the daughter would have been born without the daddy. So to
Big facts.
use that
right,
correlation
right.
makes no sense to me. But again, that's women's business, and it's
I'll
somewhere I don't
stay
belong.
out of that.
So
I sympathize with her. Which one is the one that you can't is empathize or sympathize where I haven't been through this, but I feel for you. That's sympathize. It's empathy. I empathize for her because of that whole situation, man. Because I'm pretty sure, man, she's showing signs that she's healing and she's healthy, but you could tell, bro, that
And that's why she don't need to start a support group until she's full.
she needs a support.
You got to come whole. You cannot lead people forward and you still that broke down.
100%.
Like, nah. You might be able to drop some nuggets here and there, but yeah.
And
nah.
that's not to take her away from what the good that she's trying to do.
Correct.
It's just
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to bring to fruition everything that she wants until she works out that stuff within herself to where she's whole enough to be able to help other people. And that's just with anybody. Not we talking about her, but that could apply to anybody who is experienced trauma or still quote unquote damaged. Damage probably not a good word, but damaged in some kind of way.
Mhm.
You can't work on other people to Lace's point or assist in other people until you've dealt with yourself first. So
Got you. That's
You
tough.
know.
How much time do you need and before you can start helping others?
when that whatever situation that you was dealing with don't bother you or affect you the way that it once did.
And some things are ongoing. So when I say you can't help, I'm not saying that you can't assist in some way, because you can have a conversation, drop a word, you know what I mean? From my experience, this is XYZ, but I would never try to start a quote unquote ministry and I'm still in that kind of space.
Still in
That's
the
the
middle of
difference
it.
for me. And that's just my personal perspective. I just don't think that's fair to people you were trying to help when you still trying to figure
When
it
you
out.
still navigate.
You an
Yourself.
alcoholic and been to 3 AA meetings and now you talking about you helping others get over
Exactly.
alcoholism.
That's actually
Exactly.
a
You know
really
what I'm
good
saying? Like
point.
you haven't completed the process yet. Like you in the middle stages of getting through it. So
Right.
maybe once you show some growth or show some type of, then pour back into somebody else. But you still
And you might have some setbacks, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. But at the end of the day, I just wouldn't be. I would not try to build something if it's gonna be on faulty ground. If I'm still trying to figure out, ish from my lens.
So it seems that the focus of this conversation has shifted more to Mrs. Jackson. And
I'm sorry, Miss
Be
Jackson.
focusing on,
And I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Whatchamacallit. I thought we was gonna be.
Oh, that nigga's ass. We don't even need to really give him
Give him
much.
light,
Yeah,
give him
you know what I'm
shining.
saying. We'll have to shed light on that.
Yeah, honestly, unless you was somebody in my circle, I never really took like relationship type of advice from you.
The
You know what I'm
general
saying?
public.
Yeah, because first of all,
Yeah,
you
I
don't.
agree.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And people put on though. What was that show Black Love that came on?
Oh,
And they
Yeah,
had all these
Yeah,
people in
uh-huh.
How many niggas divorced now?
that's
A
good
lot
question.
of them are.
I did not know that.
Like Megan, her
was Megan good
Franklin,
on that joint?
yeah,
Devon
They was
Franklin.
on there. It's a handful.
and he was
of-
kind of Jackson himself,
Right,
giving
yeah,
out
but-
relationship
yeah.
advice, all this, man, and
it's
this
a
and that.
handful
Now
of
look
them
at this
that's
nigga, bro,
that's not together.
crying
no
on
more.
live.
Look, this nigga was on. He was he was on the Breakfast Club, and they asked him a question. It was like, "Hey, man, do you feel hurt that y'all left?" It's like, man, we still talk. I want what's best for her. I'm like, you heard.
He
He's
hurt.
a liar.
You
Niggas
heard.
hurt.
You
Yeah.
heard.
Cause I saw her on something. I don't know if it was IG, whatever. I just looked. I said he hurt.
He hurt.
He hurt, bro.
He hurt. and your ex-wife walking around with Jonathan Major swole ass.
Hey,
I know, right?
yammed out.
Out.
Although I do believe
Yammed out. Oh my god. Yammed out. I said, yo, he hurt. He hurt.
I do believe that's a publicity stunt. To be quite honest with you,
What?
What?
the Jonathan Majors point.
I don't give a damn what it is.
Now listen, I do believe she's moved on. She's probably dating and stuff like that. But I do believe that this is just for the optics right now because Jonathan Majors just dealt with. I don't even think we even talked about that on the podcast.
I'm just saying, what could be
But
the optics
The optics is
for them?
for him. More
I don't
so
think she was too
because for him he's dealing with that weird chick.
Mhm. That
and-
nigga's lawyer is trash.
Trash.
Her lawyer or his?
His
I thought his lawyer was doing pretty good.
nigga, his lawyer was trash.
You
You know why he got in more trouble than what he was already in?
because he was talking.
No, because his lawyer shared that damn screenshot
Right.
of the text conversation from the girl where he was basically admitting that he knocked upside the head and stuff like that, and the lawyer posted it thinking that he was gonna be helping, ended up getting him in more trouble.
Wait. I thought they proved that he did not assault her.
Nigga, that's what they said, and then his lawyer posted.
she recanted or
screenshots.
something
She
like that, too.
recanted, but the lawyer had already posted screenshots about it. That's what happened. It was supposed to be dying down, like it was going away.
And so that's the reason why I'm saying this is a publicity stunt. Celebrities date just to blow.
How is this helping Megan though?
That's what I'm.
She
getting
got
to.
her show,
It's-
Harlem New Season. Shout out to Harlem, great show.
It helps keep her in the news cycle because we talking about her new relationship. Okay, so that's the
I'm not
first
talking
thing.
about that. I'm
You
talking
talking
about
about
the
her
yams. nigga.
Can I get to the yams?
I don't care nothing about Creed. That Creed mother. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that.
Can I get to the yams?
That big buff neck bastard. I don't care nothing about
Listen. I'm trying to break it down. So it's helping Megan by keeping her in the news cycle. It's keeping her in the news cycle, right? Because she does still have her show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's bringing attention to that. Jonathan Majors was in some hot water. And we all know Megan Good is a black staple ever since My Cousin Skeeter. You know what I'm saying? So everybody loves her. So it kind of brings him back into the light of black people because his baby mama white, right?
You got kids?
Again, I don't know.
Or his ex is white, right?
Yes.
So this brings him back in favor with black people. You know what I'm saying? By him dating her, and it just works out on both sides. They're two beautiful people. Well, one buff nigga and one beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? So it make a good looking couple. Just like Meg Thee Stallion with just recently with some other
International soccer player.
yeah, but she had a dude that she was down with for a long time. I'm like, Meg, what happened to
Oh, he dumped
homeboy?
her.
He dumped her?
Yeah.
Not the other way around?
No.
Why he dumped
Well, at
her?
least I wasn't there personally, but I'm pretty sure that he broke up with her.
He couldn't deal with the style.
It was around the time that the trial started, and they started
When she
revealing
got
all the
pinky toe
information
trial.
about, had to talk about all
Yeah.
her sexual exploits and stuff like that. It was around that time where they started splitting up.
Mm.
So, in my opinion, he dumped her. That's probably not what's
Because
being
that
reported
stallion was-
because that's,
yeah.
That was dumb.
What, for him?
Yeah.
How?
Well,
Now I know you, T-Dot. If you with somebody and they sexual exploits are being put out there
For
But
the
that was-
world to talk
for the
about.
world
was-
to see,
but listen, but that was prior to him though.
Depending on the timestamp, some of it could have been,
Okay, timestamp wise, if it was prior to you, we already had this pro-ho conversation.
right?
You know what I'm saying? If someone was experienced by one person, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't one person.
Well, okay.
When they had to start talking about who she was with and been
Right.
with and stuff like that, and it was Tory Lanez and the baby and all these other influential rapper names and stuff started popping up, it's like you embarrassing me now. Like,
Man, I used to like their little I think they had a bunch of photos like of them like just hanging out at the crib.
Mhm.
Man, I really wanted them to work out.
you one of those.
I wanted them.
Be invested in celebrities' relationships.
This nigga is a romantic, yo.
I am thankful. I'm talking about relationships and celebrity relationships, like Will and Jada specifically. Like, I'm thankful that. Let me tread lightly. I'm not thankful that they went through what they went through, but what I am is I'm thankful for the transparency, because, for us, that Will and Jada love, that's what J. Cole said. Like, that type of stuff is what was helped me, like, yo, this is what marriage can look like. And then it came out, I was like, oh, that marriage is kind of ugly. So then it made me realize, dang, marriage ain't as happily ever after, you know what I'm saying, as I thought it would be. And then it helped me. It's like, oh, marriage ain't as happily as ever after as it used to be. But as I thought it could be, as it could be. But now I realize I can still work through this and we could be together. You know what I'm saying? So even though I hate that they went through what they went through, I'm glad that we were able to see it in live, because then it was able to help me to realize, okay, if they can go through, I can go through too and still make it.
Well, if that's the journey that you choose to take, because at the end of the day, she off on another nigga, and he walks up and smacked the wrong man. I mean, his energy is misplaced.
Okay, now after I known that,
like, what are you talking?
now,
Will and Jada love.
listen.
Will and Jada love.
Okay.
Listen, no.
Okay,
Now,
my nigga.
Now, don't take it all. I'm just talking about broadly that people can go through, because you never really truly hear the woes and stuff of marriages. But the fact that they went through and they're still together, that's cool. Now, what they actually went through, I don't know if I could have.
I got you. Okay. All right.
Ain't no could have for me.
Right. Right.
I'm telling you right now.
Because that would have been the last August that
Ain't
we
gonna be
would
no
have
red
celebrated.
table. Ain't no more red table. Red table gone. Red table flip. I'm flipping the red table.
I'm
flipping
gonna tell
everybody.
you this brown table would have been a red table, if you feel me.
I feel, yeah, see. I know how you do.
Well, T-Dot said he would do life, so he killing everybody.
We know, bro. Murder 2 over here.
For real.
Murder 2 over
He
here.
ready to do life.
But then too, I had to do like some deep diving on that. It's like, bro, if it's that easy for someone to trick it up, then is it really even worth it?
You gotta ask yourself that.
Depends on what we talking about.
Mm-mm.
Depends on what we talking about.
But
Is there a moral to this story, Troy?
There
Because
is
I
no-
feel like we were just
We all over the place.
extremely.
we gave some nuggets to the people, man.
Well, I really just wanted to talk about it and hear y'all perspective, because we never got the opportunity to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
And actually, we talked about a couple things that we never talked about. We never talked Meg Thee Stallion. We never talked Will Smith. Actually, we did talk Will Smith's the smack.
This pursuit of slappiness.
Yes.
Yeah, this pursuit of slappiness. But we never got to talk about Will and Jada per se. And so I'm just glad we got a chance to talk
I'm just
about
tired
it.
of all those people, bro. I'm just tired of them. Not seeing them on the internet, seeing they misfortunes or their conversations or what's being said or the situations and stuff like I don't care that much about celebrity relationships to be wanting to talk about that stuff all the time. It's certain people that I just am tired of seeing. I don't want to hear about Dwayne and Gabriel no more. I don't want to hear nothing about their family situation.
If I hear
don't
about
want to
them
hear
one more time,
nothing else about. Just not that I have a problem with them. I'm just tired of that story.
Right,
How many times can we talk about the same thing over and over?
look, if they going 50-50, they going 50-50. That's just how they handle their relationship.
And that's okay. That
And
works
that's
for them.
okay.
What's wrong with that?
What is wrong with that?
Nothing.
He probably got more money than she do, and if she still want to
He
go
does.
50-50,
No, he does.
that's what's up.
Ain't no.
Yeah, he makes more than her.
I ain't seen her in the movie. I ain't seen her in Love and Jane for a long time.
Love and Jane.
Being Mary Jane.
Being married. Jane.
Like, what the
They can't even get the story, the show right. I'm just saying. Well, how many times can we have the same conversation? So it's not that. I mean, I obviously don't care about celebrity relationships,
Right.
But how many times we had the same conversation over and over?
And the thing is, people got to realize what's for these people is
It's
for
for
them.
them.
Let them do them. That shit ain't got nothing to do with you, your livelihood, and how you operate. So stop trying to mirror what you see on TV, movies, this, that, and the third, because it's a false reality.
Because otherwise, you're going to end up like Al Pacino, 80 years old, with a daggone baby on the way.
Yeah.
He getting it in.
No,
though.
the baby here. Yeah, the baby's
Oh,
here.
I didn't know the baby was here.
Yeah, the baby's here. Yeah, the baby here.
Polyester pants, no draws. Balls in one pocket, change.
Hey. And call it ministry. And call it ministry.
Oh my goodness.
Real talk.
All right, Troy, close us out with a word of prayer, bro. We need it. We've been
Lord, we need you. And all these marriages and all these relationships that's going on, the only thing that's going to hold us together is you. So let our eyes be focused on you and let us draw closer to you as we are to each other. In Jesus' name, amen.
Come on, Troy.
It's been the ManlyDeeds
These
podcast.
We out, baby.
We out.
See how that work? You get some toxic and you get some Jesus
And
at
get
the
some
end,
Jesus
bro.
at the end. That was
Come on,
good.
bro.